Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I want to go ahead and I want to direct this video towards the people with true forced loneliness. And the one thing I want to say is, as a 28-year-old with a lot of wisdom, I want to pass this old saying that my mom used to say to me on to y'all guys. And it's this. As my mama used to say, if one person has a problem with you, then maybe there's a problem with that person. But when a lot of people have a problem with you, then you're the problem. Think.
Raven.
Have a good day.
Masterson. That is the most dumbest thing I ever heard. Coming from a person who did racial degrading porn. What did you just say? So, you're saying is, if the majority of people have a problem with me, then it's me. Why? Why? Because I don't conform. Why? Because I think for myself. So, people, the so-called majority, which is not a majority because you have a lot of people who are in denial of what's going on in the world and how people are treating each other and how you women are on your fucking pedestal. And how female supremacy and female privilege is getting out of hand. And yes, female supremacy is very real. Because TFL, you have a majority of men being discriminated and being suppressed down and oppressed down and depressed down by women. Because that was done by design. At 28, I'm the same age as you, and you don't have no wisdom. If you had wisdom, you would never went the path that you went to being a prostitute, exploiting yourselves for racist Caucasians and ghetto gaggers porn, and you allowing somebody to abuse you because you know damn well you would not let a man of color, a black man, what you would call, do that shit to you. And you know it. It's so funny how many of you women who do many of you women of color, and not just black women, just other races, allow yourself to be degraded by Caucasian men, but you wouldn't put up with that shit. You know, you wouldn't take that shit from me or any other ethnic man of color, and especially your own race of men, doing that to you. You would want to be treated with respect. It's beyond me. But the problem is, you're right, the problem is within us because we decided to stand up for ourselves, because we know there's a problem out there. And the thing is, what you said is a contradiction, makes no sense. It's because the majority of us are living this problem. When you're born with a dick between your legs, you're fucked. When you're born with a vagina, you have the world in your hands. But the thing is, that's the majority of people who have that problem. So the problem is with you women. You see, because the only reason why it seems the other way around, that it's just us with the problem and the majority of people don't have that. A lot of people have the problem, they're just not willing to speak up. And it's when you do speak up as a man and defend yourself, you're the bad person. But the majority of men are suffering and living true forced loneliness, and suffering because of feminism. But the thing is, you women want to come up here with this bullshit and refute, just attack us with weak ass insults and ad hominem attacks, shaming tactics, because you want to protect female privilege, female supremacy, female power. Because you already know that when a man knows about female power, female privilege, women have more rights than a man, and men have no rights. Female supremacy, you're afraid that men might wake up and actually you be knocked off your pedestal. And I'll show you more right now. That you prove our points with every dumbass insult. Again. And I just want to add this before I even play my next clip and smacking down more female bullshit and drama. You should follow your own advice. Think. Because you have the nerve to call us bitter men because we don't like the way we're being mistreated, even though you don't want to be mistreated and suffered like yourself. How about go by this? Do unto one as you want done unto you. If you do unto somebody and you don't want, if you do unto somebody, if you do unto one where you don't want done unto you, then don't do it to that person. Treat people the way you want to be fucking treated. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't get mad when you go around mistreating people and then they decide to treat you the same way you treat them and then have a hissy fit. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Keep it simple, stupid.
Hello YouTube, I'm Johnny, the MRA, but you can call me Johnny for short.
Oh great, a Justin Bieber lookalike wannabe who inserted too much testosterone into his voice box. And he's an MRA! What fun!
If you don't know what an MRA is, it's a male rights activist.
Also known as an asshole who whines and bitches about women.
What did you see there? You see what I'm talking about? I mean, obviously this bitch. Show you her profile. I want to show you this bitch's profile. Angry Punks Pikey. Known as the Daya Bloody Knuckle. She has to talk a lot of shit. And she's age 19. Oh my gosh, she just went from 19 to age 40. She got so much life experience. So much life experiences. She knows so much about the world, and she knows so much about her opposite gender. All you hear her do is like most of the assholes in America and Canada. Women, these bitches like to assume for everybody. They like to assume for the opposite gender, even though they never walked in a man's shoes, never put on. They don't always like to have a penis, and get discriminated against, and be shamed, and be told to hate their own gender. They talk about female oppression, even though they never experienced no oppression. They never lived through it, and even when they want to go back to in the past. There's no such thing as female oppression in the history of the North America, in the West, in the United States. But obviously these bitches have been taking too much estrogen. And the feminazi. These bitches are very sexist. She's very sexist. Ain't been through shit. But she hates men because of what some better woman told her. I can understand if she actually went through shit, maybe sexually abused or maybe molested by a man, or some man. I mean, she grew up a bunch of male chauvinist family members who took advantage of her, raped her, beat her up, abused her. I mean, talk about some real shit. And if that's true, two wrongs don't make a right. You don't correct a wrong with a wrong. You're no better than what they are. You're no better than they are. If you were abused and you were molested, you were raped, or some guy broke your heart, you don't blame the whole gender. You don't punish the whole male gender, your opposite gender, because of what a few assholes that you came across, which you picked, or what your mom picked, your aunt, women in your family picked, and you were a victim by them. You don't blame the whole entire male gender or any group, race, what have you, because a few assholes in that group did you wrong. You're no better than what they are. And as a matter of fact, you're a lot stupider. Because how in the hell are you going to address a problem or correct a problem and correct a wrong when you're going to go out and do wrong? You have to find forgiveness within yourself. I'm not saying accept their bullshit. If you don't want to fuck with them, keep it moving. But don't punish everybody else who had nothing to do with how you were treated. It's like this. Let's say, I mean, for my life, there's people who've done me wrong, and I had a lot of bad experiences. I had a lot of bad experiences. But I don't blame the whole one group of people for what a few assholes did. You can say in your rebuttal, well, there's a majority of people who are bad people. I agree with you, but you still can't. You got to find out why they're like that, and you got to stand up to the ignorance. You understand what I'm saying? But you don't just because you have a lot of people who think with groupthink. What you have to do is call it out. You got to speak out the bullshit. Even though there's people who saw the wrong and they just didn't say nothing, you still can't punish the whole group for what one asshole did, who actually did you wrong. Now you gotta blame the individual and hold them accountable. And if you were involved with the person, the wrong motherfucker, which you shouldn't have been involved with, then you gotta take some part of you gotta take accountability as well. Whether you like it or not. Because you shouldn't have fucked with that motherfucker in the first place. You were warned. You know it. Not some emotional shit that they got from a television set or from some bitter woman who got with the wrong guy because she got with a bad boy and the bad boy left her high and dry. Now she wants to blame all the men who had nothing to do with her piss poor choices for her actions for being a slut. Or she got stuck with a baby. Or she had an abortion like Diana Boston. She had an abortion like Diana Boston because she didn't want to take responsibility for committing the adult sin or committing an adult act, which is having sex, spreading your legs, getting your dick in the hole, fucking a guy raw who wasn't shit, who didn't have his shit together, was not on point, wasn't established, and she was not on point, wasn't established, because both people need to be established. So she had about to have a baby, right? And she kills it. These women talk. These bitches want to talk. Let me tell you what a feminist is. A female who whines to bitches about men. How about that? See, let's assume for you're fat, you're ugly, you're undesirable. I mean, I don't understand why you're so angry about men. You don't do no research. You think you're cute just hiding behind an avatar. You want to talk about some natural. She made a video. She took my video out of context. She assumed for me, and I'll show you that in a little bit right now, because I gotta roast her because she want to talk shit. The consequence.
You fucking idiot!
That's right, bitch. You described yourself really well. A fucking idiot. Cunt.
Really no desire to hook up with anyone at this point. Just waiting for my boyfriend, but I definitely want to try and have fun.
If you don't like her, it's not my fault. Don't blame me.
Okay.
Everyone wait.
Wow. So you see it. You don't lie. What you record, don't lie. Going by looks. That's right. She has a boyfriend, but if she can come across another good-looking guy, because she has to pick. That's right. If the guys are desirable and attractive, then she won't mind cheating on you guys.
And you know what that's called, Big Boss Calvin 83? Natural selection.
So natural selection. So you took part. It's funny how you took that little segment of the video, but you didn't play the whole thing, and then you flipped it around and added some truth, twisted truth, manipulated facts. You flipped it around. You added added some of the facts and took it away. You added lies and you added some truth, and you mixed it up. And guess what? You did not debunk anything. All you just did was prove me right because you was not listening. That video is a part of like it's a 4-part video series of the art of misandry, basketball wives, and the fact that I'm using these shows is because of the fact that it's a reflection, because it's social conditioning how these women fucking behave and think it's all right. You talk about natural selection, right? And that's your weak justification. Okay, so I guess if a man rapes you, right, and I guess it's okay. You're saying you support rape, right? You support a man raping a woman, and now get this. Women rape men too. And if you look it up and get off your fat ass and actually start researching, you'll see what I'm talking about. I have a video coming up where a woman actually rapes a 10-month-old baby. You'll see that when I haven't uploaded it yet, posted it yet, but it will be posted. I have done numerous videos where women are raping men. And you have women sleeping with underage boys, underage men. And you have women actually drugging men and raping them. So it's not one-sided. So you want to talk about natural selection? I guess it's natural selection to create your own killer. How is it considered natural selection to create your own killers? So you're saying you're going to treat this person like shit, stereotype them out, deny them alive, ridicule them, dump on them, shit on them, label them, reject them, be mean to them, be rude to them, disrespect them, degrade them, be derogatory, put them down and attack them, and humiliate them and belittle them, and continuously abuse them emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, and destroy their self-esteem and feel all big and bad about it, and just walk around with your head all high, hurting a man's feelings, a guy who did nothing to you, and then you wonder why it happened again. Maybe you need to see the video. Since you believe in natural selection, I guess Bill's video about serial killers is spot on, right? I guess it's spot on. I guess when a man murders a bunch of women, like Jack the Ripper, Ted Bundy, George Sedini, I guess it's natural selection. I guess when a man rapes a woman, and why do you think men rape women? Since even though rapists can go either way, why do you think that is? Oh, you know why? Because it's natural selection. You see how stupid you are? You see the logic? But you're going to tell me, no, that's different. Well, no, there's nothing different about it. You used to believe in natural selection. So since you're fat and overweight, a woman should be thin. And she should have blonde hair and blue eyes and be fit and be all ladylike and submissive and wear a fucking dress and then wear a fucking apron and stay in the fucking kitchen. Oh! That's considered sexist. Now I'm sexist. I'm a woman hater. But it's okay. But a man's expected to do X, Y, Z. A man's expected to do all the approaching, all the courting. He gotta have the big mansion. He gotta have the fucking fancy cars. He gotta live in this area. He gotta have all these material things. He gotta look like fucking GQ. And it's funny how you want to talk about natural selection, but you're not attractive. Just saying. So what do you say? Since you believe in natural selection, I guess you need to watch this and tell me if you still believe in natural selection.
The idea that as a man, anything I suffer or any pain I go through is really secondary. I'm like a second-class citizen. It is offensive to me. And I think we should expect more from the 21st century. It's 2007 now. How long has feminism been here? You know, the whole message of equality is gone.
It was all about money. How to get the federal and state tax dollars that were allotted each case for enforcement. In fact, our director would say regularly, we aren't the friend of the family, we're the friend of the court. We stumbled over ourselves trying to get more Title 4D cases on our records and to increase the child support orders because the federal government granted huge allotments for each case we enforced. In the years I worked in the system, I witnessed regular deception to clients that was mandated by office policy. I saw gender bias and discrimination. I saw records destroyed. I saw office policies and rules change from week to week for the profit of the agency. I saw hundreds of pleas for parenting time or enforcement get buried because there is no money in enforcing custody or visitation issues. Increasing the child support money that came into our offices was the goal for each of us. We were rated according to how much money. Proudly told me that the Child Support Enforcement Agency was the darling of the circuit court and that we actually made money for the judge and the court, unlike the Sheriff's Department and so many other county agencies. Our county or state was not an exception to the rule. We were one of the most successful counties, and we shared training with other counties and states so they could learn how to maximize their efforts toward increased collection.
From 1974 to 1978, Ted Bundy's killing spree spanned the country. He admitted to killing 30 young women, but experts believe the death toll is much higher. He was arrested in Colorado in '77, and the killing might have stopped there, but he escaped and headed to Tallahassee, Florida, where the massacre continued. In 1978, he killed 2 girls at a Florida State University sorority house, then traveled to Lake City, where he raped and murdered a 12-year-old.
I'll plead not guilty right now.
It was the last murder that did him in. Bundy was executed in Florida in 1989, and many believe he went to his grave withholding information about dozens of unsolved murders. But now cold case detectives have new information that may link Bundy to more terror. A break came in January from this display case holding memorabilia from the Bundy investigation. That's when a forensic expert got the idea to test Bundy's teeth molds for DNA evidence.
These were like uppers.
David Kaufman, a regional crime lab director for the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, had the molds checked, but nothing was found. That didn't stop Kaufman's search for Bundy's DNA.
We just decided to, let's try again. Let's call around and call again. And we got the person who knew what they had on site.
What they had was this: 2 vials of Bundy's blood taken in 1978, discovered in Columbia County, where Bundy committed his last murder.
We expect the liquid blood to rot.
The tubes were given to Felicia Hickman, an FDLE lab technician, but there was a huge problem. The blood's 33 years old.
I was thinking it may be too degraded, so I sampled from the dried area around the tube of the blood, and it worked.
Now, 22 years after Bundy's death, the state finally has his DNA, and Friday, so will the FBI. They'll test it against their nationwide database to see if it matches evidence from unsolved murders.
This video is about serial killers. Why do serial killers, or why is 90% of all women killed by a man? Why are serial killers always seem to focus on women more than men? I mean, yes, there's been some serial killers that's killed men, but you'd have to say 90% of anybody that was classified as a serial killer killed a woman. One guy in court killed 48 women himself. Well, I think I know the reason that serial killers end up focusing on women. Because women bring this on to themselves. They actually create the guy to kill him. And they are too dense to see that they're creating the guy that killed him. How do I say this? What do I mean by this? Well, what I mean by this is women are so picky, so choosy, that when it comes to dating scene or being with somebody, that first look, it's over with for most guys. Unless the guy's hot looking, certain size, loaded with money, she don't want anything to do with him. First look, it's over with. But yes, she has all the say-so. She never goes without. Even a fat, ugly woman gets a guy. Why? Because a guy has more of a heart than a woman ever had. Because a guy's not so picky. Yes, there's guys that stereotype about women. I'm not saying guys don't. But I'm saying women make guys look like minute compared to what women do, because women are so picky that, and then a person, they have no control over what they're going to look like. They have no control over how tall they're going to be. They have no say-so in that. A person's going to be forced into being alone for 15, 20 years, 30 years, and never have nobody in their life. Don't matter how well they dress up, don't matter what they do, don't matter how nice, how polite they are. First 2 seconds they meet somebody, they're stereotyped out, and that person don't even want to know them, and that's a woman doing that to a guy. And this happens to this guy year after year after year. It's like when I made my trip over to the Philippines, I met 5 guys in one trip and back. They're all American. And our stories are the same. They've been through the exact same things I've been through with women. Well, that's not a coincidence. Women are purposely, willingly, and knowingly forcing guys into loneliness. And walking around with their heads all high because they know they'll never be alone. It's like one woman told me, "Oh, good luck, you can be alone for years. Nobody wants somebody like you. You're too short." I mean, what kind of statement was that? But that came out of a woman's mouth to me. Okay, another woman. You put her up in your home, you feed her ass, give her a roof over her head, pay her fines, keep her out of jail, help her find a job, get her a job, take her to and from work, and go to work yourself, and then one day when she's off of work and she's staying at home in your house, and a friend stops by and says, "Oh, you must be Bill's new girlfriend." First thing she said was, "Ew, I wouldn't give him the time of day." What was that? See? How's that supposed to make a person feel? Then you women want to complain when a guy flips out and kills you? Well, you know, a guy like that, if he wanted to have a one-night stand, you know how he'd get it? Get a gun out and force it. Because he couldn't get it any other way. He spent his whole life trying to get just one person in his life, and couldn't get one person in his life. But every time he watches TV, every time he goes to the store, what does he see? He sees a guy with a girl. He sees people having a life. He sees a movie, the girl always is blah blah blah, and the guy has a girl. Somebody always has somebody. He goes outside, he sees it at the store. He sees people getting married. He looks, the guy's halfway decent looking. He wasn't fortunate enough to look like that guy. He wasn't fortunate enough to be as tall as that guy, or as loaded with money as that guy. And so then you women deny him a life, and deny him a life, year after year after year, and there's hundreds of guys you women are doing this to. And then one of the guys flips out, goes over the edge, and just like me, watching a show the one day, it was like Forensic Files and seeing a woman killed. Wow, inside I felt happy. It was like, huh, that's crazy. I shouldn't be happy because this girl gets killed. But I was. And I know why I was happy. I thought about it a while. It's not that I'm going to go out and do it, but I know why I was happy. I was happy because it felt good to see a woman get killed. And why did it feel good to see a woman get killed? Well, they denied me my life all them years. They're denying these other guys their life for no reason at all. We didn't do anything to you, but we're not allowed to have a life because you deny us that. So now the guy flips out and he kills the woman, and just like she denied him a life, he's denying her life. He takes her life literally. She's actually better off being dead. Why? Because he gets to suffer. He gets to go home, still be alone, still be alone, still be alone. Cry, feel all the emotions. You know, the emotions and feelings you women don't think guys have. You know, when you say you're just a guy, you don't have feelings, you don't have emotions. Are you inside a guy's body? No, you're not. How was a guy born? Didn't he fall out your hole? Yes, he did. Wasn't he just as human as you? Yes, he was. Did he have all the same feelings and emotions you did? Yes, he did. But you women think a guy don't. Where you get off thinking a guy don't, it's beyond me. I know what it is. It's propaganda. The TV set taught you this from the time you were a little kid. Just like when they taught you in school, boys don't hit a girl, boys don't hit a girl. And so then the guy and the girl grows up, and the girl's over here beating the shit out of the fucking guy. They team up on him. Oh, you can't hit us because we're a girl. That's wrong. It should be taught in school that neither one hit either one. But no, you don't do that. You're all one-sided. You're going to teach the guy can't hit the girl, but you're going to think because you're a girl you have the right to hit the guy. Then you can't figure out why a guy flip out and go over the edge and kill you. Use your heads. Everybody's a human. Everybody deserves somebody. God did say He put women on this earth with man so everybody would have a mate. And now you women, just like Eve did, she picked the apple and God said not to, so what do you women do? You run over there and pick the apple? Well, now what are you doing? You're destroying it. God said everybody will have a mate. What did you do? You made sure not everybody will have a mate, didn't you? Why? Because I guess what? Your daddy's Satan? Well, that's what it must be, because you're evil. And if you wasn't evil, why would you do this to another human being for no reason at all? Think about that. Why would you do this to another human being for no reason at all? Why would you treat them like dirt for no reason at all? And then complain when you get killed.
I'm 26 years old, and I've learned a lot about women in my young life, and most of it hasn't been good.
These evil women keep calling me out on my bullshit, even though my head's so far up my ass that I'm surprised I haven't spit my own head out yet.
Which is why I became an MRA.
Because I couldn't get any pussy.
Dated a lot of abusive girls, physically abusive and mentally abusive girls in the last couple years, which really opened my eyes to the way that men are being treated. I've seen my other friends.
I'm going to do that again, so I can track you down again, so I can find you again. Sit there.
That really hurts. Stop.
We've seen what people do when a woman is abused by a man.
Stop.
Sit there.
Stop.
Sit there.
You look like a psychotic person.
But we wondered, what would happen if we reversed the sexes? What if the victim were a man and the abuser a woman?
Huh? You want to start with me?
This time she plays the aggressor, verbally and physically abusing her boyfriend.
How's that? How's that?
Women abusing, even assaulting their male partners. Not as isolated as you might think.
I hate you!
From Moonstruck to Shakespeare in Love to Pirates of the Caribbean, women hitting men may be a Hollywood staple, but it's not just in the movies. Major League pitcher Chuck Finley's wife, actress Tawny Kitaen, was arrested and briefly jailed after he accused her of pummeling him. She denied it, and charges were dropped, but only after she agreed to attend anger management classes. Again, psychology professor Carrie Keating.
It is a big problem in this country. Men create more damage, but women hit more than men do.
Every year, there are more than 800,000 serious cases of women abusing men.
Again, nothing.
But confronted with this, what will people do when hidden cameras are rolling and our actress is out of control?
No.
One after another, people pass by and keep right on going. What will this woman do? At first, she seems to ignore the fight, but pauses a few paces down the path to watch. She tells us she didn't think this woman could pose any real physical threat.
It didn't look like any harm was being done. I didn't immediately think to protect the man at all.
But now we're about to meet a woman whose reaction is instant, visceral. Watch closely.
No, get up. No.
Why don't you calm down?
What went through her mind?
Good for her. You go, girl.
Linda Maklufi just assumed he had it coming to him. But why?
Maybe she caught him cheating or something like that, really bad, and then made her lose it.
We've seen it before, back when we taped our first experiment with that abusive boyfriend. We told our actors to trade places for just one take.
Tell me right now. Why? Why?
And later brought bystanders together to talk about what they'd seen.
My first thought was that he must have cheated on her.
I was thinking that same thing.
But you don't know that.
You don't, but...
You look guilty.
Exactly.
Okay.
And now, over and over again, when the victim is a man, so many women perceive him as guilty.
I figured, well, he probably deserved it.
Linda seems to think our feisty actress is a kind of role model.
I was thinking, oh, I'm pretty nice all the time. I should have done what she did sometimes.
But what about this guy?
You know what? Just Nate, come on!
Come on, what?
Whose side is he
You
on?
haven't said a freaking word to me about it.
We watch and record for hours and hours as 163 people just walk or jog right by.
Look at how many people went by without defending that guy. And this is kind of classic, because female aggression is usually seen as not very important, not very deadly, nothing really to react to.
It's funny how you like to assume to the fat hog. Who are you, my lovely Dame 21's cousin? So the guy has a valid complaint about women. I showed you the clips of how you bitches create domestic violence, because 80% of domestic violence is started by women. They started, they provoke it, they agitate it. That leads to it happen again, which is the reason why you are victims of violence and sometimes dead. But no, they don't tell you that. And then you said, oh, it's because he can't get laid. That is the problem. So you do support rape. So basically you admitted that women have all the choice and all the power and all the say so. Look at your fat ass. Why are you a man hater? I guess it's because you can't get laid. It's funny how when you say it in reverse, it doesn't. People look at you like you're crazy. If you came up to me with a valid complaint about how men are and blah 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 and how horrible you are and your bad experiences as a man, I said stop whining. Oh, I'm sexist. Oh, you're just mad because you can't get laid, and you've been stereotyped out, ridiculed, labeled, disrespected, degraded, insulted, put down, and shat on, and forced out of society, forced out of having a life, and being denied a life. Oh, because you don't look like a supermodel. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody can feel sorry for you, right? Everybody should pity you. You complain that the reason why you don't have nobody in your life is because you're being discriminated because of your weight. You know why there's more fat women dating fit men, guys who are regular size? You ever see? You want to know why you see overweight women more so with fit guys, as opposed to fat men with fit women? Is because you have all the fucking pick. And if you started having your complaints about how men are treating women, and how you didn't have no, and how the guys are on their power trip, on their pedestal, and you've been mistreated, and I said, oh, it's because you can't get any dick. Does that sound any? You would say, you would be like, what does that got to do with my fucking points about my issues with men? You can, first of all, that's assuming you're assuming. You get it? You are assuming for him. I guess I could say the same thing. The reason why you were a feminist is because you mad because you can't get no dick. Does that sound so fucking retarded? Does that sound retarded now? A childish ad hom, a childish insult. You have yet to address the points that he makes. So basically, what you're telling us, due to the matriarchy, is that we can't blame you for nothing, even though you're in charge. Even though we live in a matriarchy and where women are dominating society because the elites let y'all have the power and all the choice and all the say so, and plus the laws favor you, the government favors you, the banks favor you, the corporations are on your side, and because of that, if a man stands up to a woman, he's a whiner, he's weak, he's a woman beater, he's abusive, he's violent, he needs anger management. Isn't that what you're saying? Isn't that very sexist? You're saying you're against sexism, but you're not. You say you're sexist. You're saying you're against sexism, but you're only against sexism when it pertains to women, when men are discriminating against women and being misogynist towards women, where you actually create these misogynists. Because most of women nowadays are raising the boys. They're under your care. I mean, if women are raising the majority of children, because a lot of them are single mothers, Regardless of what happens, I don't want to hear it's because of the man's fault. It's y'all fault. Because what the fuck are y'all having kids out of goddamn wedlock, and you don't know who the father is, and or you're kicking the man out because you want to run shit. Yeah, that's right. You kicked the man out. You called the police, and he had him front out of his own home most of the time, or the home that you both paid for, or your home. Even though he's fixing and doing the majority of the maintaining and paying for shit as well. Even if you make more money than the motherfucker, he's the one that's taking care of the shit because he's your little handyman. You kick him out because he won't follow your orders. You see what the problem is? That's not love. It's about female domination. But it's okay for you to oppress, but you don't want to be oppressed. You want to tell somebody else what to do, but you don't want to be told what to do yourself. You're against sexism when it comes to women. When it pertains to women, and you're against men being sexist against women, but you're not against women being sexist against men. So it's okay for you to be sexist against men who done nothing to you because you read some feminist matriarchal propaganda history class, or you watch too much Oprah. Maybe if you stop eating so many goddamn cheeseburgers and get your head out of your fucking ass, maybe you wouldn't be on here so bitter. I don't understand why you're bitter. You're young. You haven't been through shit. Okay? You can look... I mean, I share my life to the world, you know, you understand? So you can't really say that. You can't use that as a rebuttal. If you've seen all my videos, you know, you will know why I feel the way I feel. 240 plus videos, and you still trying to go around the damn truth. I want to show you how you women... I'll show you how sexist you are and one-sided you are right now.
105, we got Eric Williams on the line. Of course, the Breakfast Club, DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God.
Angela Yee, what's good? Charlamagne, what's happening? What's going on?
Eric!
There's a lot of ruckus going on in the States. There's a lot of ruckus going on in the States.
Eric, how you going to throw a drink in my girl's face like that?
You know damn well I threw a drink in her face like that.
Talk to him, Eric. Talk to him. I'm with you, my brother.
First of all, she did out of my mother. You know that, man? You don't do no like that.
You know what? As a husband, it was up to you to step up to the plate.
It's not about a husband.
And check her.
First of all, that's my mother. First of all, ain't nobody checking my mother.
I don't care.
She brought me to the world. What you mean, check her?
Okay, your point is what? Your point
you got a lot of nerves, you know what I mean?
What did she do to your mom? Because she said she hasn't seen your mom since the wedding, and your mom said she's not blessing the wedding and has made it very difficult for her.
Angela Yee, just the fact that you knowing this is a violation, because that's a conversation between my mother and her before that wedding, before the wedding. You dig? That's that mother, you know, particularly daughter by marriage conversation. She's supposed to wear that to the grave. No one is supposed to know about that conversation. I didn't even know about that conversation, but the world knew it, because you know why? She put the on Sister magazine, that stupid ass magazine, and then she been talking about it in every interview she's been doing. So only thing I was saying was honor that mother. You can do what you need to do and all that crazy stuff and talk about me, pinata, yada yada yada, all that crazy, you know, but don't disrespect my mother on national TV. That's all it was about.
Now, Eric, when you
walk away after that.
Now, Eric, when you watched it last night and you saw the cake and you saw her had you beheaded on the cake and beating you with the pinata, what was going through your head, man? What was going through the night?
Well, first of all, the knot was upset, really. I wasn't really upset, yo. The knot, man, because they don't put the knot back on there. Damn, them don't make the knot famous, you know what I'm saying? Page for the knot, yo, but besides that, I really didn't care about the pinata and all the, you know what I'm saying, the whole, the extras they was using. That was like a damn near like a blood sacrifice on that damn thing, if you ask me, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is. She needed, I mean, through it all, I'm still the topic of discussion, yo, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's like it's early here, I'm up, and I needed to watch it because I got everybody on me like, yo, this, that, and the third. Man, she got 2 gay dudes on there, they kissing. There was only 2 gay dudes on there. You know what I'm saying? All that was staged, man. She need to come clean with it, come straight up. Yo. You can't hurt me. That don't hurt me.
She had no business throwing a drink on you, though. I'll tell you that much. She had no business throwing a drink on you, and I feel like you throwing a drink on her was justified.
What?
Be real careful, you know what I'm saying? Be real careful.
Listen, I tried to go away, yo. You know what I mean? That was a real emotional time when she was talking about my mother. I'm telling you right now, it was emotional then at the time because I was pulling between her and my mother at the same time, but I still married her. You know what I mean? So for her to tell me to check my mother, man, what is my...
But Eric, let me ask you this. Because I spoke to Jennifer, and she said that when you threw the drink in her face, you actually hit her in the face with the glass.
Oh, come on, yo. She would have been bleeding. The glass would have broke. Let's keep it 100. She wants sympathy from the world. Everybody knows this. You dig?
Because I was watching the show, and knowing both of you and Eric, we have always got along. We never had no issues. But I did feel like you were all up in her face, that you threw the drink really close to her face. It was very aggressive, and it concerned me.
I mean, yeah, the drink was aggressive because, listen, the thing is that the action, everybody in the world might be like, damn, why you do that? But listen, I don't apologize for the reaction. You dig? The reaction was there because you don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? All the world opinions really can kiss my I really don't care about that. You dig? I just know what was going on within my life, and then my was the one that's on TV being exploded. My name is the one being dragged around. Remember, the chick's still married, you dig? Just, you know what I'm saying? She's doing some reckless on TV. I love that fact because that ain't gonna do nothing but help me in court. But on the rest of that stuff, you know what I mean? I don't want that going through the situation and all that. And it was never for me. Nobody on that panel wouldn't know nobody, all right? So let's keep it 100, you know what I'm saying?
But you
only thing I was saying was honor my mother. You see, I got up and I walked away because I seen she didn't know herself no more.
But you know what? I feel you, Eric. But the other thing is...
Hold on. One second, Yeet. She ain't acting herself right now, and you know it. You know what I'm saying? She don't change 350 degrees. That's the person that she is
360
right now. That look like so all that stuff that's going on right now, I don't even know her. So to splash up that holy water, I had to baptize that ass, you think?
But you know what?
Lost her stuff.
Being friends with Jennifer, I have seen her crying about the fact that your mom and her don't get along. And it has to be difficult for somebody to be married to a man who...
That stuff go on all this time.
Go through awful divorces and lose everything, including their kids, to, you know, kangaroo courts where nothing gets solved.
Dude, if you don't want to, you know, run into, you know, mentally or physically abusive women, then, you know, don't go to, you know, very violent situations. And also, you know, the whole injustice about your friends and all that shit. Did you ever consider that maybe your friends were extremely abusive to, you know, their girlfriends or wives? Just saying.
But today I want to talk to you about an interesting topic. I want to tell you how today I actually had an interesting debate with a feminist and how I ultimately pissed her off and won the debate. And it wasn't hard. All I really had to do was show her factual evidence.
Facts of which you totally pulled out of your ass.
Talking about the feminist known on YouTube as Diana Dotson. If that's her YouTube name, if I can remember correctly, but I do believe that's it. You know, every time I would show her polls and evidence, factual evidence, that women are making 8% to 21% to more than men are on the job, that the feminist movement was actually opposed more by women than by men. More women oppose the idea of the feminist movement than men do. And more women do to this day oppose the feminist movement more than men do.
Dude, did you ever consider that maybe the reason why women reject, you know, words like, you know, feminism or whatever, because they're ashamed of, you know, trying to actually fight for their rights and actually to be considered human beings? No, you probably did not. Hey, Carissa Cannibal 13, I found your boyfriend.
It's crazy. But when you show a feminist like Diana Dotson the facts, what is her response? Well, it consists nothing of logic, I can tell you that. She responded to me with something that we like to call shaming tactics.
By shaming tactics, you mean calling you on your bullshit?
Basically stuff like, girls must have made fun of you in high school. I bet you were beat with the ugly stick and can't get any. Let me scroll through and find some other fun ones that she said. Ooh, I must hate women because I can't find a girlfriend.
Of which, by the look of your face and your political position, is absolutely true.
Well, first of all, she doesn't even know what I look like until she sees this video. Second of all, that's pretty funny. Talk about being beat with the ugly stick. Well, if we're going to talk about shaming tactics, Diana, you might want to see an orthodontist about your teeth. Just saying.
You realize that some people sometimes don't have have any access to dental care whatsoever? Way to go, asshole! You just insulted poor people. Way to go! You get your prize at the door in 3 weeks.
And you shouldn't wear that much makeup. I mean, this is YouTube. It's not Hollywood.
And you're an expert in makeup, Justin Bieber lookalike wannabe?
Not to say that, really, your makeup would even qualify you to get into Broadway, let alone Hollywood. I think it's pretty overkill.
Yeah, like, totally, because, like, I'm totally prettier than you, so there, bitch.
I'm gonna... This is gonna be the conclusion. So you seen... So what you saw, do you still stand by your rehashed rhetoric of ignorance? You seen that clip that I showed you, even in your clip, how the woman continuously made excuses for the woman's wicked behavior, unacceptable, foul, disrespectful behavior by throwing a drink at the man when the man was trying to walk away from the confrontation, which is now her ex-husband, trying to create drama. And then he stood up for himself and threw the drink right back in her face where she fucking deserves it. And then the bitch on the radio is going to try to make excuses for her and talk about some hardship. Like, the bitch ain't going through shit. The bitch didn't have nothing to begin with. The bitch was spoiled rotten. She married a rich guy to elevate herself. Now, as far as the dude picking her, I gotta tell men, if you on point, get an on point woman who went through the same hardships as you did. Okay? Because all these women, when you marry down men, guess what? You upgrade this bitch, and she's gonna, when she gets her wants, you're upgrading her for the next guy. She will use you and throw you away. And women don't have no problem with that. Now to your point. You fat piece of lard. You fat, pale-faced, skinless bitch. Listen to me. Now, I mean, in this class where John was trying to tell you about his grievances with women, you didn't listen. All you did was try to look for faults, even look for faults in his appearance. You assumed for him. You used shaming tactics, emotional insults. You spoke with emotion. He had facts. He presented facts, and you still wasn't satisfied. You try to go around the truth. You did what I told you. You looked at the truth. You took this part out. You twisted this fact around. You told bits and pieces of the truth. You had a lie. You added truth. You added a little bit of truth, and you added a lie. Then you added a story. Then you exaggerated some of the facts. Then you manipulated the facts and made up your own scenarios. You flipped the truth. And then you try to blame it back on him. When will you women get your head out of your ass and step off your fucking pedestal that you know you're on? Once you take apart the truth and you alter it, manipulate it, twist it, you take the words out of context, you twist the words around, and then you add here, take away, state a fact, and then you add a lie there. Then you take away part of the truth. You add a little lie. Then you have a manipulation version of the truth. And then you twist the facts to your own wants. Guess what? It's no longer true. And then you excuse women. The women he was talking about, you're not there, you're not in his life, but you know so much. John is 26 years old, and you're 19, and you're just fresh out of high school. You've been brain raped. And then when you go through college, I'm assuming that you are in college, you're going to go get more brain raped with rehashed lies and propaganda, especially when it comes to your women's studies class. You try to justify the woman's wrongdoing. Oh, maybe they could have been abusive. We can say the same thing. The reason why that guy killed that bitch is because she could have been abusive. We can make the same argument. And I'm so sick and tired of women making excuses. Oh, my daddy left me. Oh, my dad wasn't there. Oh, my dad was abusive. Oh, a male relative inappropriately touched me. Oh, I was molested. Oh, I was raped. Because he looked at me up and down, or he said made a comment, or he hugged me a little too tight, or he felt up against me. Just really sick and tired of y'all bitches trying to you just try to pull every excuse out of your own fucking ass. And oh, I was abused, and oh, this guy didn't want to go out with me, so that's why I'm a feminist. That's why I'm a better woman. And my aunt told me this, and my mom told me that, and my cousin told me this, and how men ain't shit, and because of the fact that I picked the wrong dude. See, I'm blaming back on you now. You chose the wrong guy, and now you want to become a feminist, and you want to talk about women want to be treated as human beings. And you talk about women should be treated as human beings. Well, for you to be treated like a human being, you have to treat men as a human being. You have to treat one the way you want to be treated. You have to do unto others as you want done unto you. You have to grow the fuck up to understand that. But no, you want, see, the thing is, this is what women want. You want to be a man when it's convenient for you, and you want to be a woman when it benefits you. So you want the benefits, the rights and privileges and the liberations of being a woman. You want the power and the freedom to be a man, but you don't want the responsibility of either gender. You don't want the responsibility of neither. You want the best world. You want the best of both worlds. You want the best and the benefits of both genders, but you don't want the responsibilities of being each gender. You don't want the responsibilities. You want the men to have all the responsibilities of both being the man and being a woman. You want them to have all the responsibilities and negatives. While you, as a woman, you want all the benefits and all the positives of being a man and a woman at the same time. Which is, you lost your damn mind. That sums it up. So next time, get your facts straight. Don't ever try to take a video. If I make a long video series, you watch the whole thing and you listen to what the fuck I'm telling you. Stop trying to go around the truth. Stop trying to take things out of context. Stop trying to manipulate the facts. Stop trying to alter the facts. You leave this part out, you add this, and you take away that. We'll add a lie here, add the truth. We'll take a little bit piece of the truth and stick it with a lie. Then twist the words and twist the facts to your own wants. You don't want the argument like that. You just make yourself more of an asshole. And that's what I gotta say to you, bitch. Use a fucking treadmill. Drink some Slim Fast. I'm out. Peace. And by the way, I don't go by looks, but from the look of it, you're uglier on the inside than as opposed to the outside. See, your mind and your character, and you lack integrity is the reason why you're fucked up. So, in case you try to slam me, you played the whole part. You shot yourself in the foot. And what you women really need to do, because you need to grow the fuck up and step off your pedestal. If you really want true equality, then you really got to put in the equal amount of work to it. You just can't have your way. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Then want to bitch and cry about you being 300 pounds. You need to wake the fuck up and get your head out of your ass. So if you women want to be men and have the leadership and all the power, here's the responsibility. You pick a side. Either side you have, there's benefits, there's pros and there's cons, and there's positives and negatives. If you believe in true equality, then you're gonna have the same amount of responsibilities. No if or stance or buts about it. And another thing, stop deflecting the truth and stop trying to run away from it. Stop running away from reality, because you like your life of lies. Well, guess what? When the elite takes you off your pedestal And when they want to destroy feminism and bring back the oppressive patriarchy, guess what? All the men that you shat on, all the men that you denied, all the men that you asexually raped, all the men that you financially raped, all the men that you raped and abused out of a life, guess what? We ain't going to help you when you're screaming for help. Because you're strong and independent, well, guess what? You're going to have to protect yourself. Don't come running to a man for help now because of the fact that you fucked up again. You need to grow the fuck up and wake up.
Hey you guys, it's Amy. I was actually just texting one of my dear friends, Ashley B, who is quite amazing herself. And she was watching my video and she mentioned that I did forget one vital piece of information that these bitches who make us amazing girls look bad tend to do. And that would be trying to change your man. Why did you get with him if your intention was to change him, fix him, and whatever it is you try to do, change the way he dresses, the way he acts, what he says, who he's associated with? Why did you get with him if you didn't like that from the very beginning? Why do you wait for you to be upset and mad to tell him he isn't shit, that he isn't worth anything, that all he does is this, this, and that, and how much you hate him? Why do you wait to be mad? You sound like a complete dumbass, because remember the fact that you got with him. Make sense? You were the one who decided to be with him, with this nigga that ain't shit. What the fuck does that make you? Bitch. Anyways, I wanted to thank Ashley for reminding me about how fucking stupid these cunts are. And subscribe, like, comment, follow me on Twitter at Amy AYMII21, and add my personal Facebook, Amy Torres. Just find me on there, and you'll see me. The picture's like something like this, something like that. So you'll find me. So you guys have a good one, and talk to you guys later. And remember, all the cool girls are lesbians.